सबको रिझाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम। राम नाम का अलख जगाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम। राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल।
राम सिया राम, जय जय राम सिया राम।
जो जीवन का सार समझ ले, जीवन उसका है। जर्रा निकाले जो माटी, सब कंचन उसका है। जर्रा निकाले जो माटी, सब कंचन उसका है। परती हटाता चल, मन को सजाता चल। परती हटाता चल, मन को सजाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम। राम नाम का अलख जगाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम। राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम। राम नाम का अलख जगाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम। राम धुन गाता चल, 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 राम धुन गाता चल।
राम सिया राम, जय जय राम सिया राम।
ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै। तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verses 18 to 27.
ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्ताः, मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः, जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः, अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः। नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारम् यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति, गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति, मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति। गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान्, जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते। अर्जुन उवाच कैर्लिङ्गैस्त्रीन् गुणानेतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो, किमाचारः कथं चैतान् त्रीन् गुणानतिवर्तते श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति उदासीनवदासीनः गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च
You're muted, Janki.
Thank you, ma'am. You're muted.
Thank you. Do not be affected by whatever is going on. That is the state of a person of realization. Just not affected. Things will go on. The mind will be happy. The mind will be unhappy. The world will present us things that are suitable to us. The world will present things to us which are not suitable to us. The mind itself is its own story. Sometimes you're just not happy, even though everything around you is fine. Sometimes you're happy in spite of everything around you crumbling. Different kinds of things are going on in our life. Now we are expected to stay unaffected by this. It sounds like almost, yaar, give me a break. पहले तो मेरे problems है. उसके ऊपर you're telling me now you stay unaffected. The double problem हो गया. First, I cannot handle what is going on outside. Now you are saying, no, now you have to stay unaffected as well. छोड़ो, ये सब छोड़ो, मेरा सिर नहीं खाओ. But we have to understand what these words really mean. When you say stay unaffected, what are you referring to? Are you referring to a state where things are going on and you're not being, you're not getting any great emotion rendered out of that? You get reaction out of it. Yes, you're talking about that. That is the state of a man of realization. So many things are going on that's not really of great importance to him. Like, for instance, how we do. When so many things are going on in the child's world, right? New dolls are coming out. Old doll models are being closed. Some dolls are breaking. Are you really reacting to this so much? Nothing is really, you don't even know it, and if someone draws it to your attention, okay, very, very good or very bad, you will see. This is when you have grown out of something. However, that is not of consequence to us. Because whatever we have grown out of, we have grown out of. Finished, ho gaya. The problem always arises in the areas where we have not grown out. Right? So if we have grown out of it, हो जाए नहीं हो जाए ठीक है यार. The problem arises when we haven't grown out of it. So we haven't grown out of it, and someone tells you that don't react. Now that's stupid. That's just plain stupidity. Because you're telling a child that okay, you've got a new doll, but don't react. There's something wrong, no? If the child doesn't react, if we say, what's wrong with you? Why are you not reacting? You got a new toy. Or the child's doll is broken, and the child is like, I don't care. What's wrong with you? Are you suppressing your sorrows? Are you in denial? What's the matter with you? Why are you behaving like this? This is what you'll say, right? So that's what these people say. If you don't get affected, then there's something wrong with you. You're in denial. You are not accepting your grief. You are, pushing it down. You're suppressing it. That's what they'll say, and rightly so. So you can't do all these things. When you're in grief, you're in grief. Now, what do you have? What is Krishna's advice to us? What exactly is he advising? Now, I am affected. Means I have deep emotions about the things that are going on. So, what is Krishna's advice to me? Krishna's advice to me is whatever my mind is feeling, it's feeling top of the world, it's feeling bottom of the world, whatever it is feeling. My struggle is always to be that I will focus on what is the correct thing to be done and do it. When we talk about being unaffected, it doesn't mean that it need not mean that your mind has not felt it. What it means is, however much your mind has felt it, your intellect has stayed above it. Which in Oliver Goldsmith's words, it is what happened? In Oliver Goldsmith's words, it is nobody. Mahesh?
The mountaintop remains above the clouds.
Very good. But those are not his words, in his words. In his words, it is to them his heart, his love, his griefs were given.
Mountaintop remains above the
All his
clouds.
serious thoughts had rested him.
But those are not his words, in his words. Very good. His words. That all his serious thought had rest in heaven. Like some awful mountain that rises from the clouds. And midway, he's giving that simile of the cloud, of the mountain. Though round its breast the rolling clouds are spread, eternal sunshine settles on its head. That means your mind is feeling whatever it feels. Now you cannot say, should I feel this? Should I not feel this? Is it correct to feel this? These are all stupid questions. You are feeling it. That's that. That is simply that. That is just a fact of life. The question is not what you're feeling. The question is,
Are you above them?
yeah, so
Is your
what's the
intellect
question?
is your intellect above
Yeah,
it?
so what does that mean?
The ability to do right action.
Very good. What are you doing? The question is not what you're feeling. The question is what you're doing. So you get very angry with somebody. Can we tell you that you are wrong to get angry? We cannot tell you that you're wrong to get angry. Why can't we tell you that you're wrong to get angry?
It is just a fact that you are.
Yeah, but why can't we say that it's wrong to be angry?
It's pointless.
Okay, but we are saying,
Because we don't know the context.
okay, we can't say all that, but we can't say it is wrong. Maybe in some context, it is wrong, right? I don't know. But we are saying, no, we will never say you're wrong to get angry. Under no circumstance will we say you're wrong to get angry.
Because there's the natural progression, cause and effect.
Very good. Because that is simply cause and effect. As long as you have a desire and that desire is interrupted, you will experience anger. Now, can we say, oh, you should not feel angry? Does that make any sense? It's like saying the coconut seed should not give a coconut tree. Pagal hai kya? How is that even possible? So we never say that you're wrong in feeling angry because it's impossible. It's a cause and effect relationship. What can you do? You can't say it was wrong of the water to boil when you heated it. So what if you heated it? You should still not boil. Pagal hai kya? What is this nonsense you're talking? Say, okay, somebody passed away, somebody was rude to me, and I'm in grief. Some friend of mine has been mean to me, and I'm grief. Can anyone tell me that it's wrong of me to have grief? So it's so silly to say that, right? It's complete nonsense to deny a person their emotions. It is what it is. So we don't say that. We never say an emotion is right or wrong. We don't talk like that. What do we say?
Whether an action is right or wrong.
Whether an action was right or wrong. Emotion just is. Whatever it is, it is. It is like the color of your skin, right? Can we say this is the wrong color for the skin? No, it is what it is. There's no right color and wrong color. So there are some things which are a given. What is there to talk about? Now, when he says stay unaffected, what he's referring to is the world can trigger you. Right? Now, if I want to irritate Bhavna, I think it'll be difficult to irritate her. We should do an experiment and see if we can irritate her. I want to irritate her, okay? Because I want her to something. I want her to speak badly in the debate that she's about to take part in. So I irritate her. So that she goes on stage and she's very angry by the time she has. And then she cannot remember what she has to say. I can trigger, right? I can trigger people. And they can get triggered. Your job in life is, no matter what is going on, you will continue to do what needs to be done. Now, the problem in this whole thing is deciding what needs to be done. This is where the problem arises. And the solution to that problem, in one word, is, now don't give me a lecture. One word, in one word, the solution to that problem is?
Discrimination.
Okay, very good. But discrimination is a given. Can you give me how to get to discrimination?
Study.
Knowledge, yes. That is why you're studying Vedanta. To figure out what is to be done. And why does Vedanta tell you that? By explaining cause and effect relationships. If you do X, Y will happen. Now we are saying, oh, Vedanta is so beautiful. Let me see what all other people are saying. Sab ke sab pagal hai kya? You just need to figure out from any source what are those cause and effect relationships, and then live your life in accordance to those cause and effect relationships. Not because someone is telling you, because if you want that effect, you have no option but to do its cause. It is so simple. And yet, we will make this whole thing so esoteric that we lose the point. Oh, but so-and-so says such and such. What about that? And so-and-so says such and such. What about that? You decide for yourself which is a genuine cause and effect relationship. And once you figured that out, modulate your actions to that if you want that particular effect. What is the cause of agitations?
Interrupted desire.
Desire. Now you want agitations, you inculcate desires. Simple. What is the cause of peace?
Knowledge.
Okay, you can say knowledge, any form of unselfishness, any form of growing your consciousness is a form of peace. Then what do you want? You want agitations, you want peace. You take actions based on whatever result you're looking for. Vedanta does not interfere in that. What is the effect you're looking for? Therefore, what is the cause you have to implement? It's quite clear and simple. So, what is he telling us now? He is telling us that if you manage to get affected by things that are going on, the consequence of that will be if you don't get affected, the consequence will be
Right
action.
very good.
Very
And if you do get affected, the consequence will be
Wrong.
Wrong action.
wrong action. That's what he's saying. Please don't get affected. I mean, he's not instructing us not to get affected. He's just saying that a mature person doesn't get affected. Now we're understanding what does that mean. That means no matter what you're feeling, no matter what is happening in the world, you have to be able to do what is the right thing to do. That's it. All your life as a Vedantin, you're only focusing on one thing. What is the correct thing to do in this circumstance? This is the only thing you're focusing on. And how do you know whether something is correct or not? By examining
the cause.
and
The effect.
Effect.
very good. By examining cause and effect. Clear? So far, so good? Mahesh, what then is meant by purifying the mind? Mahesh, I know that this must be in context of something. You're saying, so, I suppose you're saying that if you're not saying you're wrong to be angry, then what do you mean by purifying the mind? Is that what you're trying to get at? Okay. So, purifying the mind means that you're becoming less angry. That is true. However, to criticize a person for what he is amounts to cruelty. You are what you are today. So we don't want to comment on that. We don't want to say, oh, how can you get angry? That's very foolish of you to be angry. We don't want to make these comments because they are futile. It is what it is, right? In any time you're trying to do something, your first stage is to accept where it is currently. In anything, suppose you're starting a business, then you first have to start with what do I currently have? I currently have 25 rupees. I have so many friends who may help me, each may give me 5 rupees. That's your current state. Now, will you criticize a person because he has 25 rupees and he has only a few friends who can give him 5 rupees? You don't criticize it. It's pointless. It's meaningless. It's only telling you, here's where I'm starting from. Remember when we started looking for the plot of land, we had 11,000 rupees in the bank. Now, suppose people started criticizing us. What's the point? It's 11 in the bank. That's a fact. And then by the time you find a plot, you try to figure out, oh, this one costs so much, so we have to raise so much and try to do all this, mix and match. The thing is, when you're at 11, what is the use of saying, oh my God, we are at 11, it's 11,000 mein kya hoga? We will not even be able to pay the brokerage. What is the use of all this nonsense? So you recognize it for what it is, take it as your first step, and you say, okay, I'm moving from here. That's why we don't say We don't criticize it. It is what it is. It's a given, it's an effect. Vedanta doesn't deal with anything that's an effect. It deals only with things that are causes. Okay?
So all emotions are effects.
All emotions are effects, correct.
Fine. Thank you.
So then he's given us the different things that can affect us at the physical level, emotional level, intellectual level, worldly level, all these things, different things which can affect us, which it happens, right? Like you can fall ill and that can affect you. It can be too hot or too cold, like Mumbai is so hot at the moment. Suppose we have to go to the plot. We can't say, oh, it's too hot, I can't go. I can't go. Let winters come, then I'll go to the plot. Can you do that? When you have to go, you have to go. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to go, at 50 degrees and then you're setting off to the plot. What will you do alone there? People will also have to come, right? So you have to understand a situation and decide what you wish to do with that situation. Rather than saying, oh, I'm feeling this, oh, I'm feeling that. Okay, you're feeling it. So, main kya karu? You're getting angry. Okay, fine. I'm in grief. Well, that's sad, but it is what it is. Today I've got brain fog. Okay, then you don't do any work that requires your brain to function. I mean, it is what it is, right? So get used to it and move on. So that's what he's meaning by the fact that you don't get affected. You don't get affected means it is not a comment on the mind. You may feel or you may not feel. If you have grown out of it, you won't feel. If you haven't grown out of it, you will feel. But it's not a comment on that. It's a comment on
Action.
on action, on what you do. Now, for this for this thing to work, for your action to come out right, your intellect has to work. Therefore, we often talk of it as whatever is happening in your mind, your intellect stays unaffected. Because your mind is affected. So now, how will you do the right action? Only if intellect is unaffected. Yes, Bharat.
Wouldn't the quality of action improve if the mind is also unaffected? So both intellect and mind can go along.
It will, like you will do very well in the areas of children, right? Because your mind is not affected, your intellect works. So it is very good, but it is stagnation. I mean, you can work with the children and you will do fabulously. So, but what of it? You're living the life of a child. So your best case scenario is really that you are affected and you're working on it, because that means you're pushing. To be unaffected, I mean, unless you're a realized soul, in which case that's ideal, that your mind is feeling nothing, your intellect just instinctively knows what to do and you're done. But as a sadhak, if that battle is not there, तो फिर क्या साधना चल रही है? That doesn't mean the battle has to be there 24 hours and the whole journey long. There'll be time where we are battling, then for a little while we'll cruise, then again the battle will start, then again there'll be cruising for a little while. That's the process of growth. So yes, in an ideal state, you are realized, your mind is not affected, you know exactly what to do. That's the ideal state. But maybe we are a little distant from it at the moment. If we are distant, then the battle is important for us. Because when my mind is affected, can I continue to do the right thing, no matter what I'm feeling? That's the point of sadhana. No? That's the very point of it. Point means that's the very place where you're going to be doing your sadhana. where it's agitating you, you're still doing what what's the right thing to do. This is how character develops in a human. It's not a pleasure, but you're going to do it. Okay,
Yes.
Bharat?
So non-affectation would mean no agitation at all.
Non-affectation means that you're doing the right action. Whether you're agitated or not is immaterial. But if you're struggling, if you are agitated and you're doing the right action, that is showing that you're struggling with it. And that is how you're going to grow.
Okay, thank you.
So, Janaki ji, in this case, is it right to say that your mind is unaffected also when in a state where you have outgrown that state?
Correct.
And the next state, again, your mind is affected, so you have to develop your intellect and so on and so forth.
Yes. But what happens is the moment you start functioning in a little higher state, obviously the agitation starts. So the tendency is to withdraw. That is why people give up work also. Na? See, when you become 60 years old, Kalyan, 60 or 65 or whatever your company has, they will say that, oh, we would like to extend it, and they'll extend it and all that they will do. And then eventually some age will come where they will tell you, look, now we are beyond, I can't. Or you may tell others as a HR head that, sorry, we can't give you any further extension. You have to retire. Right. Now this guy, he's a senior executive. People have been listening to him, paying him attention, listening and saying, Hanji, Naji to this guy. Now he's retired. His position is gone. I see this so much now. Okay, now he needs a job. He needs some work. So he'll pull some connections. He'll do something to get some. It may work, it may not work. But as time goes on, it will become more and more difficult for him to get that work, to be productively employed. So what will he do? He will announce retirement. He will say, oh, I don't want to retire. I don't want to work. I want to retire. But that's not true. He wants to work. At least one hopes he still wants to work. Otherwise, he's a dead man already. Okay, then why isn't he working? Because it is too much. Like this guy who used to order people has to now go and do Hanji Naji to somebody. He can't take it. Right? But that which he cannot take is what is going to force his growth. That doesn't mean he has to grovel or something. He has to continue to do right action. Somebody is ignoring you. You have to figure out what is the right action to do and do it. Instead of saying, oh, he ignored me. You know how much I helped him in the past. So many things. Right? So that point of pain is a point of struggle, right? But that's where we come back from. Instead of going through it and saying, no, whatever it takes, I'm going to go through with this.
Yeah.
So if you just stay with what is not agitating you, you stagnate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Momita came across an interesting status in Punjabi. Maidan kabhi khali mat chhode. Maidan kabhi khali mat chhode. So don't leave the field empty at any time. Meaning?
The battlefield, I guess. That's what it is.
No, but
The
in
arena.
what context were you saying this?
That don't stop being in
Action.
an uncomfortable zone.
Okay. Yes. Don't give up just because it's uncomfortable. It will become uncomfortable and it should become. Imagine if it never becomes uncomfortable, that means you're stagnating. You go lower and lower and lower. Now look at, what is his name? Our Mukesh Bhai. Mukesh Bhai has enough money for his many generations to survive. So should he work or should he not work? He can say, no, what is there to work now? What is there to do thing? How much money am I going to earn? He can say that. Or he can struggle. If he says, okay, yaar, kar diya jo karna hai, then he stagnates. If he says, no, I got to do something, I have this ability to set up businesses, to make them grow, our country moves on the wheels of business. I got to do more business. I got to get my country growing more. Then he will grow. He will grow as a human being. But if he thinks, oh, I have enough for myself and my children and my grandchildren and my great grandchildren, then he will stagnate. You see, the Tatas always had that. The Tatas always set up industries which were for the welfare of the nation. At that point, GRD thought our country needs an airline. He set up an airline. He thought at some point, of course, we needed steel. They set up the whole Jamshedpur steel stuff, and they worked. It just kept working. You know that famous story, right? What was her name? Jerbai? What was her name? Mirbai, I remember her name. When they had when the Mahim Creek was to be built, she gave a lakh of rupees. When the lakh of rupees now means nothing. At time it was a big deal. And when their business was collapsing, she took this ring. Her husband, what was his name? Sir Dorabji. Okay, I'm not too good at history, so please forgive me if I'm making any errors. But Sir Dorabji Tata, very rich man, he bought among the world's biggest diamonds, so bigger than the Kohinoor, okay, as a gift to his beloved wife. Now, after some time, his business went into losses, right? So she sort of gave that up so that they can raise money. She gave it as guarantee over. It was a big diamond. And then their businesses prospered. Now, when she is dealing with that diamond, think of it. This is what her beloved husband has given her as a symbol of his love. Now it's up to her, right? Does she want to give it to him so that his business works or not? So to her, like, why did you give it to me if you want to take it away from me? She could say that. So she stood by him. She gave the diamond up, and then, of course, the Tatas have been growing. But the thing is, at points of pain, what are you willing to do? When it's most uncomfortable, what are you willing to do? That determines what the future is going to be. So that's what he's saying. Don't get affected means don't let what you're feeling directly determine what you're going to do. Somebody praises you, somebody gives you dishonor. Don't let that determine what you ought to do. It's very, very interesting. In today's world, you need a certain bit of marketing. If we have to put up the university, we need visibility. If we need visibility, we need marketing. Now, when we need marketing, the marketer will tell you, you talk on this, it will get good. This is all topical, you must talk on it. And so they very innocently said, speak on this incident, which had become very viral a couple of weeks ago. Speak on this incident because anything on this incident will become viral. But it was a very, very negative thing. Very negative, very cheap and negative. So I could have spoken on it, of course, and just to get viral. So for whatever is this thing you are thinking of doing, do you want to take that step or not? Is a question that you have to decide for yourself. What are you willing to do? What according to you is right and wrong? Stick by it. And that develops character. And character is equal to destiny. Always remember that. That is why the Sanskrit word for both is the same. The word vasanas and the word prarabdha are synonymous terms. Character is destiny. Right? So he's given same in joy and sorrow, same for a clod of earth's gold and stone, same for pleasant and unpleasant, censure and praise, honor and dishonor, friend and foe, relinquishing all undertakings. If you understand what that means, it means that you don't get a sense of I have started, I am doing, I am so great whenever you do whatever you do. In other words, these emotions that are coming from the mind do not determine what you do. You don't do something because you're like on a egotistical high. And you don't do something because you're on egotistical low. You just keep thinking what has to be done and do it. That's the only thing. So verse 26.
Janki, question. I'm sorry if I missed it, but the stone and gold refers to physical
Material, yeah.
material don't be affected by material gains also.
Yeah. So stone, earth, stone, gold in olden times had a different connotation. Today it has a different connotation. So first, I don't know, whatever way you want to use this terminology, what according to you is the most expensive, earth or stone or gold? As you are in the field of IT, and now all this talk is there going on about minerals. Maybe now minerals will become the most expensive, right? Who knows? Is gold expensive, stone expensive, earth expensive? You're talking about Manhattan or South Mumbai. Maybe earth is most expensive. God alone knows. Every time this will keep changing. So every time it changes, like gold has gone up, gold has gone down. Minerals have gone up, minerals have gone down. Earth has gone up, man, flat prices have gone up, flat prices have come down. Every time you cannot keep on shifting because of these things. These are just temporary phenomena.
You look at so your perspective is that the material objects, one does not have greater importance than the other? Or?
No, your perspective is what helps you most for your goal.
Okay.
So if you're buying I don't know, suppose you're buying a house, I want to live somewhere. So what is it that you will identify as your primary reasons for purchasing in area X, Y, or Z? Suppose you want to start a business in New York. Then you may want to buy land or buy a flat in Manhattan. Suppose you want to learn Japanese. Maybe you want to rent in Japan. So what is it you're trying to do? Never mind all these other things that are going up and down.
Right. Thank you.
Just one question, Janki. Coming back to that earlier discussion, that at every stage, your mind will take the easy route and you have to put in that effort, intellect. So, what does it mean that you have to put in more effort, more to develop your intellect? Because if you've grown to a higher stage, the mind obviously has taken an easy route, but it is more difficult compared to a lower state where the mind have taken an easy route in that sense. So
So if you're higher, at a higher level, the route that your mind takes is easier than if you're at a lower level. Is that what you're saying? Take an example, because examples always make it easy. Let us say that all I'm concerned about is myself. Okay, that's all I care about. So it will be a struggle for me to consider my family. Okay, so there is food on the table and it's restricted, and I will eat everything I want myself. And if my wife and children don't get it, well, that's their problem, not my problem. Because I'm stronger, if they come anywhere close, like I have an animal behavior. A stronger animal, another animal comes, yeah, what are you doing? So human beings sometimes are like that. Forget whether my wife, children, anyone gets or not, I have to be satisfied. Okay, now what is struggle for this person? Struggle for this person will be that, okay, I have to get the largest share, but let me give them little bit. Just little bit. They should not ask for too much. And he'll struggle until he'll come to a position where he'll say, let them eat, forget about whether I have or not. I mean, it's not like he's sacrificing. He will enjoy the fact that they are eating. That is his enjoyment. Like if you see your child eating some ice cream, whatever it is he wants, then you are happy that he is happy. Okay,
Yeah.
so now giving him an ice cream becomes very easy because it's giving you joy. Right? There's no struggle in giving the guy whatever he wants. Right? Now what is your effort? Is your ability to decide whether he should have it or not have it. Because giving it to him is joy for you. Now the effort is, should I or should I not based on the fact that I'm happy or sad about it, but based on the fact of is it good for him or not? Okay. Now, as you grow higher and higher and higher, let's say you come to Mahatma Gandhi's level. Now Mahatma Gandhi finds it very easy to do things for the country. I mean, that is just a normal life. But if something happens from outside the country, there'll be a struggle. Now, what is right? Protect my country, fight their country, find a collaboration. What is right in this condition? Otherwise, it will become a shouting match like some leaders do. They yell at each other. There's no struggle to do the right thing.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
at that level, the effort is how do we develop and put in that effort to develop the intellect? Is her video frozen?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Are we
Yeah.
back together? Okay. Where
Yeah.
did you?
So I was asking, I got this example at every. So what does it mean that we have to put in more effort to develop the intellect so that it is unaffected by the mind at each stage? What is that effort required? That is all this development of knowledge, discrimination.
Yeah, your morning studies. Because otherwise, how will you? It's like that tunnel boring machine. Now you've come to a blank wall. Now you can't tell right from wrong. Now you need that tunnel boring machine, no? So that is your knowledge. As your knowledge increases, as you reflect more, then you get a little crack. So dikhega kuch kuch. So that's your morning studies.
Yeah.
Why do they go on and on morning studies? Like as if कुछ और बोलने के लिए है ही नहीं. Because that's what's going to break through. No?
Yeah. कोई shortcut नहीं, like Milind is saying.
Frankly, this is the shortcut. Everything else is the long cut. Okay, let's say you don't do this. What will happen? You will choose the easy path. then what will happen? Then after some time, the agitations will come. Then you'll have a problem to solve. It's always easier to prevent a problem than to solve a problem. So your effort you have to put. Now you decide you want to put the effort before the problem or after the, because those are the only choices, unfortunately, we get. If you have some shifarish with God and he can change this a bit, then it's fine. But other than that, the rest of it, your choice is effort now or effort later.
Understood.
Shankiji, for effort later, you'll also need knowledge, right? So you have to come back to this route again.
Yeah. You'll need knowledge, but you may or may not take it. But yes, eventually goal जाके यही आना है. जाओ जहाँ जाना है जाओ. Finally तो यही आना है. I mean, in the sense, you have to have that discrimination. If you're not going to create discrimination, all the choices we make are wrong. Then we meet the consequences. Then we say, why is God doing this to me? Right? You make wrong choices and then you criticize God. Poor God, he's sitting at home and crying. ये लोग मुझे हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ बुरा ही बोलते रहते हैं. I made such a beautiful world for them to enjoy. और ये लोग रोते बैठते हैं, मुझे भी रुलवाते हैं. So what is he to do, poor thing? It is what it is. These are the cause and effect relationships. Get it or don't get it. That's it. So yes, yahi वापस आना. Yahi means you don't have to, you have to still come to Bhagavad Gita class. It's not Bhagavad Gita class. It is the development of discrimination. Otherwise, you'll say, no, but I've been coming to class for 20 years, but I am in sorrow. Because you're not supposed to come to class, you're supposed to develop discrimination. Now, when I say that, you say, oh, then I don't have to come to class. No, Baba, you have to come to class. You have to learn and develop discrimination. That's the point of it. Some people say, sometimes you say come to class, sometimes you don't come to class. What are we supposed to do? I'm supposed to come to class, but not only come to class, do all the work that is involved so that discrimination grows. Now, that cannot be given to you by anyone.
A very tough life. Thank you.
Huh?
Very tough life.
Actually, to tell you the truth, it's the easiest life. Because you'll put in effort, little bit, which seems horrible at the moment, and then everything is like smooth after that. It's an easy life. It's so easy. If we have character, everything in life becomes easier. Just like everything. But the problem is that initial speed bump, eventually you're good at it. So you say, here's an agitation. This is my chance for further growth. So even the way you're looking at the agitation that comes later on, you're like happy. Oh, I see, here's something lying. I got something to clean up here. Cool. I found out. And 90% of the time, nothing wrong is happening. 99% of the time, nothing wrong. Right? When nothing wrong is happening, we're enjoying ourselves. So, it is the easiest life. Everybody else, I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I don't understand why they're doing it. So much struggle, so much this, so much agitation, so much fighting, so much stress. भैया क्यों कर रहे हो? कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. Like I tell my maid loves to do work that she has not been told to do at the cost of the work that she's supposed to do. She won't do what she's supposed to do, but she will do everything else. So I keep telling her, भाई मेरे थोड़ा कम काम कर किया करो. This is the same thing that every one of us has to learn. So thoda kam kiya karo. There is no reason for this struggle. There is no reason for this agitation. Nothing. Just enjoy life, yeah. But before you get to enjoy that life, thoda काम है, वो करो. But as soon as we get good at it, the expectation changes. Yes, mommy. That's life. The more you do, the more the expectation will be. Suppose Christ says, I'm going to get my father to just handle you guys. You just see how Christ was talking. But we talk like that every day. So the expectation rises. The example that Swamiji used to give is that if there's a white sheet, a black dot on it will really stand out. But if it's a dirty sheet, kuch dikhta hi nahi hai. You put some more mud on it also, kuch dikhta hi nahi. So yes, as soon as we get good, we have to up the end. See, everybody in this country takes care of their children, get them a job, get them admission, get them whatever. When Mahatma Gandhi does it, why is he criticized? He'll be criticized. So rules are different. As you change, rules are different. So yes, it sounds like that's a really bad thing, but if the expectation doesn't change, we are stagnating. We're good at it, that's it, finished. That's where we stay. Ravi Chabla. Stress or agitation is defined as the gap between our expectations and reality. Yes, but that's not really in the context. The context here is about how the stress or the agitation gives us a chance now to find out where our discrimination is failing. And if we can fix that, we don't have this problem again. So, yes, you're right, this is the definition, but the way we're looking at it currently is using it as a tool for further development. Right, so let's do verse 26. Mamcha yo vyabhichareena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mamcha yo vyabhichareena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He is fit for becoming Brahman. If you do all these things, you just remember that you cannot become Brahman. You are Brahman. Right? You just have to find that out. But how will you find that out? Do what he has just recommended. And slowly, you are fit for knowing the truth. You cannot know the truth. You cannot do anything to know the truth. But what you can be is fit for knowing the truth. That's your job in life. Whether you realize or not, whether you find the truth or not, is an one word.
Effect.
Very good. It's an effect. Now, what have you got to do? Become fit for it. And how? He has just told you. He's telling you more in this verse as well. Mam cha yaha. Mam. Yaha means whoever. This is another beautiful word in the Bhagavad Gita. Whoever. Mam cha. Yaha. Yaha means whoever. Anybody. He's not asking you, are you a grown individual? Are you not a grown individual? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Are you a black or white or pink? What are you? Nobody's asking. Whoever indicates to us that anybody does this. That means these are cause and effect relationships we're talking about. Are you a Hindu? Then this is applicable to you. No. Oh, only Hindus, this is true. No. This is whoever you are. It is not asking you who you are. Whoever you are. Mam cha avyabhicharine. How should you say? A person of loose character is going here and there and all, right? So, not of loose character means charane, achar, the proper achar, proper behavior. Then abhyachar, not proper. Then vyar means vishishtena, like very bad behavior. So basically means staying on the path, not moving here and there. Bhakti yogena sevati. Bhakti yogena sevati. Now comes your point about purification of the mind. Mahesh, you serve with devotion. How will you make your intellect work? Remember that service is a very important thing. And that service is done with devotion. Such a person is fit for becoming Brahman. His intellect is unaffected. His mind is devoted, unswerving from the goal and from the divinity, from the truth. And his body is engaged in service. So he's covered all the 3 yogas. So let us just think for a moment and say what should be our practice for this week, right? So try and figure out some cause and effect relationships that took place in your life along the lines of what we have spoken about, and see whether what you're learning is fitting the facts of the life which you lead, so that it becomes a more real experience. Okay, see whatever cause and effect relation. When you did a wrong action, what happened? When you did the right action, what happened? Figure out. So did I get it right? Did my discrimination work? Or did my emotions take over? Think of some examples, so it helps. Okay, so that's it for today. I guess you all know that about the class that is coming up. Yeah, go ahead, Bharat.
Hariam, everyone. We'll be sharing the details again in the group. Please share them with those who can make it. Thank you.
Yes, the real world class after a long time. So whoever is in Mumbai, do join us. Okay. Hariom.
Hariom.
Hariom Janki ji. Thank you.
Thank you,
Janki ji.